Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Again, it's Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Bud Dupree in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's got his man, that's Wallace. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
Let's go.
Here's Ajayi. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss.
82.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a 1st down. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Ram.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. They run with Ajayi. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. But the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Here we go.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Now Bell. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Jack 16. Snickers, you gotta spin.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll begin the drive with a Johnny. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling.
Ram.
They run again with Ajayi. Ajayi first down and more. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Let's go. Black.
Wentz now on first down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Wentz will try again on second down, eluding the pressure right. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Black, come on. Black, come on. 180! What's your son? Liz 5-3. On the ball.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Toussaint now to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Hurry up, let's go!
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires Here's one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ajayi escapes him. Space to run past the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniel McCullers getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. This is Ajayi. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Good chip.
They stay on the ground again. It's Ajayi. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And a nice gain at 21 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, let's go.
They'll go again with Bell. And some space here. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he finds McDonald. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Let's go, let's go.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Escaping the pressure right. This one complete right side to McDonald. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A give to Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Right back to him on first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with a Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down, here's Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got it.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Snickers, you got to spin. Big. Double bump.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focused on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Rip 5-2 on here.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Going long here for Wallace. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, and you and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And there he goes again. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The give is to Bell. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's go, let's go. Let's go.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he fends him off. And this is going to be incomplete. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. Ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Wentz going to go on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter. Makes this thing a little bit more interesting. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Roethlisberger to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This from 55 yards out. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield. So they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one to the post.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say 24-hour cheesesteak shop, here we come.
Oh, yeah, and I'm buying, partner. And guess what? I'm having mine with.
And I'm having two if you're buying. Good night from Philadelphia.